Well, hello there, everybody in YouTube land. This is Annette Dion with the Psychic News Network on Saturday, July. It's not July anymore. It's August. Time warp moment. Let's try that again. Annette Dion with the Psychic News Network. It is Saturday, August 7th. It's a new moon tomorrow in the sign of Leo. It's a very fiery day. We're just coming off Moon in Cancer, which you might have had like maybe a more swimming kind of day yesterday. But yeah, the moon went into Leo at about 3:30 this morning Eastern time. And that means that we are getting fired up for some new beginnings. So let's make them positive. Let's think positive. Let's keep in our mind's eye a vision of this country and this world getting it together. What do you say? I have some questions written down, and thank you for your lovely comments. If you are somebody who supports the last person that occupied the White House, 45, you probably will not like this channel, so I'm just giving you a heads up. And all the love to you. We just probably won't agree on some certain things. Anyway, that having been said, let's go to what's going on with COVID first off. I know that, I think it's this weekend, there's a motorcycle rally in South Dakota. And Kristi Noem, the governor that I always say she's all about herself and how good she looks. Well, you know, I was kind of watching her on she was giving some kind of a talk at a convention, and she didn't look so good energetically. When I look at people in the news and, you know, in general, I notice, I can't help but notice, it's not like I'm analyzing, but I pick up energy, I pick up information. We all do. Those of us who are more practiced at it can maybe be more specific about what we're picking up, that's all. She's very robotic, which is alarming, because somebody who's robotic, you know, it's indicative of I would say a mental problem like narcissism. There's no warmth there. I feel like it's, you know, the Tin Man without a heart, you know, the Tin Woman. She's only looking at the economics of that motorcycle rally, which actually was a super spreader event when it occurred last year, which was pre-vaccination time. It turned into a super spreader. It was horrifying. So we know that the majority of people going to that motorcycle rally will not be vaccinated and not taking precautions like wearing a mask and distancing. They're going to be all clumped together. I think there might be a concert happening too. So let's take a look at what's going to happen there. I mean, maybe it doesn't take a psychic. Maybe it's kind of obvious, but we're just going to look anyway. Okay. By the way, it's a beautiful sunny day here in New England, and a lot of people at the beach, and maybe I'll head that way in a little bit. Find a body of water. It's summer, and hope you don't have to go too far for that. Okay, so here we are. It's gonna be a mess. This is the Ten of Swords. This is about we're reading about the motorcycle rally that's happening in South Dakota. I believe it's this weekend. Anyway, irregardless of when it is, this is the Ten of Swords. This is a very pain-filled card. The guides are saying around 35% of people will go home with COVID. That's what they just said. That's what I'm getting. So yeah, it will be another super spreader event. Unfortunately, the Delta variant is much more intense and much more contagious. Justice will be served. I actually think Kristi Noem will be called out for this. I don't think that this is going to go well for her to just be, we don't care. We're throwing caution to the wind. We're going to do whatever we want. And you know what? We're going to start to see that kind of an attitude backfire. This is not a place for this kind of an attitude. This is a global pandemic. This is a big freaking deal. This is This is death. This is a lethal virus, potentially lethal virus, highly contagious. Her saying, okay, everybody come, don't worry about a thing. Come to the motorcycle rally. She's gonna be liable. That's interesting because we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen the threat of legal action, although I do see that for Fox News on a different topic, in a different area in the media. I see Fox News will be sued like crazy by people with a lot of money who can hire really good lawyers. And Kristi Noem is going down that same road. I don't see her getting out scot-free, getting away scot-free with just letting this motorcycle rally go on without any precautions being taken whatsoever. The Nine of Wands, okay, the Nine of Wands indicates a lot of activity around her going ahead and letting this event happen. And this is a card that has, you know, I always notice this lion behind the wands, which indicates a loss of power. She's going to lose power through this, and she's going to lose popularity. Believe it or not, even though South Dakota is a red state, she's going to lose a lot of support, because I feel like people that have been like watching Fox News and that sort of thing are going to be awakened to the reality, which is, I think the Delta variant is going to be really not good, really proliferating through South Dakota. And then when those motorcyclists go back to their home states, it's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, well, anyway, their karma. We'll pray for them. The next person, speaking on the same topic, really is of people who are in positions of leadership, who don't take this virus seriously. Let's look at Ron Desantis, shall we? He's another one that I look at, because I've mentioned this before, and he lies through his teeth, and I can't even stand to listen to him. You probably feel the same way. I bet you do. Whenever I think of Ron DeSantis in Florida and him, I think, yes, he did. I heard this, that he threatened to, if a school has a mask mandate for the little children that are going to school and a global pandemic with a highly contagious, potentially lethal variant, he said the schools that impose a mask mandate will lose funding. How evil can you be? These are our children. Now, similarly, I'm feeling like I'm reading about something that's going to be very much in the same vein. Similarly to Kristi Noem, Ron DeSantis, you know, with him, for some reason I feel it's more going to be about children getting the virus. Well, yeah, because he's really saying no mask mandates in schools. The children are the most vulnerable. Different from the first coronavirus, this one, children can get and children can die from. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, we're going to lose a lot of children in Florida. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. I don't think it's going to go as far as it could. I feel like somebody's going to, you know, cut it off at, you know, at the pass. And that I feel like it's going to be heads of medical, you know, like departments. I feel like the medical industry or the medical professionals will step in when children start to die in Florida. And I see, the guides just showed me Ron DeSantis is going to have egg on his face. Really, they literally just showed me that. It's kind of a funny sight. Let's pick 3 cards about that. You know, I really want to encourage people to listen to their gut, because, you know, your intuition never lies. If you feel like something is unsafe, I mean, with this Delta variant, you know, get out the really highly resistant, highly effective masks. If you're indoors in close proximity to people, understand that those, and I keep going on about this, but I feel like I really must, because somebody's got to be speaking responsibly, right? be very, very careful with this virus. Those who ignore it and are in denial, this is the Seven of Cups. This is what's going to happen. This is Ron DeSantis. This is sad. I can feel the energy of this card really strongly. When he sees that children, unfortunately, will perish from this virus, we're not going to wish for that to happen, or, you know, it's just, we can't really do anything about it. You know, he's going to be beside himself with grief. Now, he's got a couple of small children, and the guides are telling me he's got his children vaccinated. I don't know how. Entertainment purposes only. The guides are telling me. That is so slimy. Not sure if it's been approved of yet for children under a certain age. I'm not sure how old his children are, but the guides are telling me he's going to see to it. He's vaccinated. Ron DeSantis, he's vaccinated. His family's vaccinated. I picked that up really strongly. So, talk about evil. He's acting like it's okay for kids to go to school without masks on because his kids aren't at risk. Because I feel like he got in under the radar and got them vaccinated. That's what I'm picking up. He will be really looking bad and really sorry that this is not going to work for him. I'm amazed at people not listening to the science. It's just amazing, isn't it? The Four of Swords, yes. This is actually, the Four of Swords indicates, it almost indicates like being really burnt out and sick and needing to rest and recover. So that's where he's going to be at. And the Judgment card, he's going to be judged by this. Ron DeSantis is going to be judged by this. Yeah, it's not looking good for him. Being so lax with the COVID restrictions, the guides are telling me that Florida is going to be the state that wins, not in a positive way, but wins the COVID numbers in terms of having the most numbers, where we'll be looking at Florida and going, oh my God, that's incredible. It's like, 1 out of 7 people. I'm just kind of pulling that out of the air, but I just feel like it's going to be rampant in Florida because of the, actually, if you went to a place like Florida and you were a person who was wondering, well, is it really that bad? Is it really that bad? And you went to Florida and people in Florida were acting like there was not a global pandemic going on, and you were there and you were just kind of hanging around, it's kind of contagious. The general attitude of a place is kind of contagious in itself. So if you went to a place where nobody was wearing masks, you probably have a false sense of security. Oh, it's probably fine here. And lo and behold, it's not going to be fine. And they will lead the country in the number of COVID cases. Maybe people are all crammed together in Florida. I'm not really sure why they're going to win and as far as how many numbers of people get COVID. We have heard, I think I did mention that, I might have mentioned this, healthcare workers will start quitting in droves. Hospitals will fill up again. I mean, I see it almost as bad as when the pandemic started. It's almost as bad. I'm saying almost as bad because we have vaccines now. But it's bad. And the word overrun is just coming in. It's going to be overrun. It's going to be overrun. The hospitals are going to be overrun. The ICU units are going to be overrun. Then we're going to start to see breakthrough cases. We'll get to that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay, so I got the death card. People will get on top of it in terms of getting their vaccines. I see emergency, like I see vans, like medical vans that are all of a sudden stocked up and big numbers of vaccines getting to all the corners of, Florida. So they're going to have to figure it out. It's going to be too little too late in a lot of places in Florida. The moon card, that's a lot of tears. That's a lot of heavy duty emotions. Pray for Florida, because I'm getting this. And that means the end of treating it like it's just It's a hoax. It's a hoax. It's not a hoax. So this will be the end of them treating it like it's a hoax. This is going to be a kind of a transformational time, you know, and a lesson, you know, a hard lesson learned. You gotta pay attention to the science. That's what it's for. Why do we have science in the first place? To know what the facts are, to collect data, and to come to conclusions based on that data. I'm telling you what, I don't know what's wrong with people. Like, if you're not going to get vaccinated, lock yourself away. I mean, you know, just be safe. You know, do what you need to do. If you know it's out there, you're following the facts, you're following the science, you will do what's going to make you safest and your loved ones safest and your neighbors and your friends and friends that you have yet to meet. We have to pay attention. We can't be acting like it's not there. We know where that gets us, right? Okay, so the next thing I want to ask about, so we're off COVID for the time being. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And I have been hearing, people have been telling me that there are more variants coming that are worse. I am seeing the Delta as the worst. I don't really feel variants coming that are worse than Delta. I still don't see that. I know I've heard it a couple times, but I feel like this one is the worst. And I think that's because so many people will get vaccinated because of Delta, that the intensely, you know, contagious ones that are coming down the line, they might be as bad, but not worse. I really think Delta is the worst. We'll start to get a handle on it really slowly by the end of the year. Okay, I'm pulling cards and I forgot to ask the question. The Texas Democrats are still in DC. I know there's, I don't know if you guys know Brian Tyler. He has a YouTube channel, and they are collecting money to support the Texas Democrats that have been in Washington, D.C., escaping the voting rights legislation bills that, I mean, the taking away of voting rights, you know about this, in Texas with Abbott. There's another one with terrible energy, slimy energy, you know, and when I think about these guys with such slimy energy, like, you know, Governor Abbott and the Ted Cruzes and the Josh Hawleys, who we haven't seen much of, and the Matt Gaetz. You know, I look at them, and you probably can see this, and they're just so slimy, and all they have on their minds is money. And I think that's so sad, to have all your existence based in money. Now, the guides have told me that there are a lot of money deals that happened in the past, backroom deals that have happened in the past with these GOP Republicans that are so slimy. And the guides just said the chickens are going to come home to roost. So, in other words, a lot of these investigations are going to turn up. Well, it's dark money. Once again, I guess that's what I'm talking about. The Texas Democrats, we're going to ask about, we're going to pull cards about, but Abbott wants them to come back so that they can be arrested in a democracy. I don't think he's going to succeed. I don't see Abbott succeeding and getting the Texas Democrats. The guides are showing me he's going to be under a lot of pressure to not do that. And the guides are showing me people's support for him dropping, like all the support kind of dropping like scales, dropping off of him. Let's see what's going to happen with those Texas Democrats. Anyway, the reason I mentioned Brian was you can donate to help the Texas Democrats that are in Washington. They have families. They only make about $700 a month for their positions in the legislature. We need to help them out. We need to get them, you know, fed and sheltered. Well, they're sheltered, but they need money. So send money. Okay. Ooh. So I'm asking about Abbott and the Texas Democrats. Here we go. This is going to really make Abbott look terrible. And he's not going to be able to backpedal. He's going to be sorry that he did such a thing. to threaten the Texas Democrats in DC. Abbott's going to be sorry that he threatened them with jail, with arrest. Speaking of arrest, he needs arrest. He needs to take a rest. Abbott needs to lay off, because this is not a good look for him. And people, the guides are showing me that the news is going to be broadcasting the heinousness of his decision to go ahead and arrest the Democrats. But I don't see the Texas Democrats being arrested, but one. I feel like he's going to try it with one, and the people are going to speak out so loudly, and he's not going to. These are not good cards for Abbott. Look at this. He's in his self-imposed jail trap. This is a card of being really stuck and not being able to kind of negotiate your way out of it and needing to retreat. And this is sorrow, the Eight of Cups. What have I done? That probably was a mistake. That kind of energy. So let's ask now if these Republicans that won an autocracy, let me say it again, these Republicans want to throw out democracy and replace it with an autocracy. That means that they have all power. The people have no power. These Republicans want to take away our democracy and replace it with an autocracy, which means we lose our rights, voting rights to begin with, which is what democracy is. So do what you can. Wake up your neighbors and friends. Donate to these organizations that are saving the right, you know. Raise awareness, call your representatives, tell them we really need to save our democracy. Donate, donate, donate. I always want to send people to Adam Kinzinger's Country First organization to send funds there. Do what you can. If you're not sure what to do, go to Stacey Abrams' website and see how you can help there. I do see protests. I do see people on the streets. I've seen that for a while. And recently, I kind of feel like the same people that came out for Black Lives Matter, are like them and others are going to come out to protest our voting rights being taken away. Okay, so the question is, are these Republicans going to succeed in overthrowing our democracy? Let's call it what it is. That's what they're doing. That's what the insurrection was. Obviously. I don't care what anybody tells you. That was those slimy Republicans attempting to overthrow our democracy. They will not succeed. They will not succeed. The Two of Cups is indicative of enough people coming together. You know, when they're feeling the love, this is the Two of Cups, and agreeing on the one thing: we need to save our democracy. The Three of Wands, these two cards, the Three of Wands and the Three of Pentacles, 3 through 3, we will come together. Now I'm picking up the number 3 is, okay, so I'm seeing the Democrats, I'm seeing, there's not many, but there are good Republicans. I'm seeing them coming together, and maybe it's the independents, because I see 3 parties coming together, but it's not. I see the Republican Party splitting in 2. I said this before. So one branch of the Republican Party is going to be like good Republicans that have the best interest of the country at heart. And then the others that are just going to start falling away, that represent the energy of white supremacy, racism and all that. I see that being a separate branch of the Republican Party. So this is the people coming together with the decent Republicans and the Democrats, and that's the 3. That's the force of the 3. The Democratic and the Republicans that are good leaders, and the people. This is rebuilding. This card has come up a lot recently. You might notice that. And that's a card of building from scratch, rebuilding from scratch. So keep being reminded of early on when he who shall not be named, as I called him for an entire year, when people were asking me, why is he in the White House? What's going on here? The big picture was he was going to, through all his criminal activity that will be completely outed and brought to the surface, all that's happened, and there's been so much, so many crimes, will, and you've heard this from other people too, I'm sure, it's revealing all the holes in the system. Like, our justice system needs really to be on steroids right now. And I mean, we should take a look at Merrick Garland. I feel like Merrick Garland is, the guys are showing me, he's getting pissed enough now that Merrick Garland is going to start acting. I think he just had to gather all his stuff. So very, you know, gradually we're going to see he's going to pick up the pace, Merrick Garland. I feel like we're going to see that towards the end of the month. We're going to see him really picking up the pace. A lot of people are really concerned about this month, like so much is going to happen, and what's going to happen, what's going to happen. Keep your thoughts in the positive. We don't need the fear. We need the faith. We don't need the fear. So bring groups of people together to intend and send good vibes where they're needed. Don't get caught up in this fear. I'm looking at the calendar because I know that people are all worried about August 13th. I don't see anything August 13th. I don't. It's next Friday. I mean, I know they're planning stuff, but at the same time, you know, it's like the investigations are gaining on 45. The investigations are gaining on them. So the plans that they're making for violence and insurrection and all that, because we know they're talking about it. Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, you know, those that followed him. We know there's talk about it, but I just feel like the FBI, or I feel that those that will be preventing any violence are on their heels. And with some of these insurrectionists going to jail to serve real time, they might chicken out. They might decide that their lives are more important. Anyway, what am I asking for? I'm just looking at my questions. The Eight of Swords. This is like, I do see one incident. Now there was a shooting around the Capitol last week. The Eight of Swords, this is, the guides are showing me this is kind of a multi-layered, this is really dark plans. Behind the scenes, really dark plans of the insurrectionists. But I really see, I'm going to give you some hope. I really see love being something that, like the love of country, being something that overrides this insurrectionist energy. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and it's not too far away that the 20th anniversary of September 11th is coming. And I feel like that impending anniversary is consciously or subconsciously or a little bit of both it's going to get Americans to kind of feel like we need to all be in this together, like we were after September 11th. I see a gentler energy coming in, a gentler and more powerful energy coming in, and the insurrectionist plans just dissolving. I don't see any. I see one violent incident. I don't see a lot of deaths. I see it's more of a shake-up, more of a little scare. And then the Prince of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, it's kind of like, these are like the young people in government. Get the younger people in government, like the AOCs and Adam Kinzinger, I see the younger people in government gathering others close. Come close, come close, let's get together. And a lot of this is through social media. They will overcome, we shall overcome the darkness, the insurrectionists. It's the collective energy of those who really, really do care, and particularly the younger generation. that will turn this around. Let's do, let's take a look at the infrastructure bill. I have a little extra time today, so we're going to go a little longer, okay? The infrastructure bill, I do see that the guys are showing me rail. They're showing me rail, high-speed rail. They're showing me California. Maybe it will start there. But I'm seeing the infrastructure bill, and I'm seeing high-speed rail. I feel like I just want to ask if it's going to pass soon. Kind of feel like it is, like in like 2 to 3 weeks. Oh yeah, oh yeah. The Ace of Pentacles. The infrastructure bill is going to change the game. We're actually going to feel like, for the first time in a long time as Americans, we're going to feel like with this infrastructure bill, which is going to pass, we finally are seeing something happen in America that feels like progress. When you really think about it, it's been a wicked long time. So this is, yeah, we will get that infrastructure bill. I see mass transit as being a huge part of the success of that. The Prince of Swords and the King of Pentacles, this represents Biden, and this represents, this looks like a little bit like Chuck Schumer in a way. Their energy together, especially those two, Biden and Schumer working together, that infrastructure bill is, it's coming through, and it's coming soon. And when people start to see this country actually working, the infrastructure is huge. That's a big, big, big deal. And I mentioned the other day that it's over 2,000 pages. Can you imagine? They do work hard. I don't care what anybody says. If you're in government, well, they don't all work hard. I mean, talk about like Matt Gaetz and Ted Cruz. They don't work hard. They just collect the money. They don't even do anything. I heard that Matt Gaetz just started a podcast or something like that. That's just, it's hilarious in a very sad way, very sick way. The 1/6, that's what I was going to talk about, the 1/6 commission. Let's see how that's going to go. The guys are telling me the 1/6, the insurrection is connected to the fraud, because I was going to talk about the Arizona fraud too. There's some links there. So, the Three of Pentacles again. I can't believe how much this card is coming up. They are taking all the facts and putting it all together. It's like putting together a big puzzle. All the puzzle pieces. I've gotten this card when I talked about the 1/6 commission also. The January 6th insurrection investigation. Very sad. When the truth comes out, it's going to shake people to the core in terms of, well, we already know how close we came to losing our country. Ironic that 45 was up there saying we're going to take back our country because he was trying to kill our country, literally. The 10 of Cups is, this is about the January 6th commission. Putting all the pieces together, and when they're all together, whoa, when it's out, we're not going to know all of it, but that which we know, we're going to be kind of freaked out and sobered by this. The Princess of Swords, this is Liz Cheney, clearly. That's Liz Cheney, clearly. She has a plan. Liz Cheney has a plan. I think the 1/6 commission is going to go much further and be much more successful in terms of solving the mysteries about who was behind January 6th. The guides are telling me that McCarthy's shaking in his boots. I do see that. He knows he's losing. He knows he's sliding. McCarthy's sliding. He knows that they have the dirt on him. This is so interesting. Okay, so that's the 1/6 commission, and let's just close with the Arizona, the fraud. What's going on with that? The guides are saying they found nothing. The guides are saying the Arizona fraud should have never been allowed. Is going to be shut down. And I'm getting that people are going to be prosecuted that conducted this Arizona fraud. That's what I'm getting. and that there are people in government that are very angry. I feel like Arizona, leaders in Arizona that are totally against this fraud, they're fuming. They're out to get these people charged. They're lining it up right now. How to charge these people that conducted this fraud. That took how many months? Are they even done yet? They were complete fools. Gosh, it's really ridiculous how dumb people are. It's not a judgment, it's an observation. The Eight of Pentacles, oh yeah, they will be charged for destroying those voting machines. I see lawsuits there too. So interesting. So, I think that's it for today, but do feel free to leave your questions, and I will check the questions, and the next time I come on, it's usually every couple days. That seems to be the kind of schedule I'm on. It's Saturday, so I'll be back on Monday. Leave your questions. I want to remind you that Tarot at the Castle, Tarot from the Castle, if you want to we're going to live stream it. We're hosting a tarot class. I'm teaching it at a medieval castle here on the coast of Massachusetts called Hammond Castle. So we'll be live streaming. If you want to know more about that, I'll see if I can post a flyer. But you can go to hammondcastle.org, Hammond, hammondcastle.org, and it will be there, and you can register online. You will be certified to be a tarot card reader. I will mail you your certification at the end of the 8 weeks. Every class is 2 hours. It's from 5 to 7. If it's live streamed, you can watch it like at your convenience too. It will be recorded. If you'd like to book a psychic reading with me, it's AnnetteDion7@gmail.com, and that's all my promotion for today. Oh, except Church of Spirituality on Facebook Live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But all the services are on my timeline. So Church of Spirituality, check it out. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy your weekend. And thank you for watching. Namaste.